Welcome back to FM Story. We are into the last handful of games in the closing stage of the league with Cerrito in Uruguay in season 16 of the South American Glory Hunt Save. Our time at Cerrito started just before the closing league phase started, and things haven't gone particularly well. We're currently on a run of 4 defeats in our last 5 league games. We've lost 6 out of our opening 9 games in this closing league phase. We got hammered in the third round of the Cup by Nacional. We lost the Intermedio final against Montevideo City Talk in our first game in charge. And things don't get much better because coming up first in this episode, we've got a game against Nacional, having lost 4-0 already to them in the Cup. And we've got a game against Penarol as well. So without further ado, let's get into the action and see if we can somehow miraculously get a result against Nacional. So straight into the action with this home game against Nacional. Obviously, we got hammered by them in the Cup before this league phase started, and our form hasn't really recovered from that. They are currently sat 4th with 17 points from 10 games in this phase. They have drawn the last 3 games in a row. One of the issues we noticed in the last game, at the end of the last episode against Wanderers, is every time there was a long ball over the top, we missed it. Now, after that game, I went back and checked our defenders' attributes. We don't have a defender in the squad who has double figures for heading the ball, I don't think. So that's always potentially going to be a bit of a risk. We have switched the formation up, and we've gone back to a 4-3-3 to try and sort of narrow it down in the middle of the pitch, and with a halfback giving us someone to drop in alongside those 2 centre-halves to try and hopefully help out in that situation. So we're going with a 4-3-3. They're playing a 4-4-2. Advaldo with a free kick for us. He goes for goal, hits the woodwork. Caballero keeps it alive. Back to Beltran. And it's blocked and behind for a corner. This is a much more promising start than any of the other league games we've played. Damian Perez, the centre forward, takes it. It's flicked on at the near post and lands on the roof of the net. Another ball over the top. We've actually won a header there. But again, we've lost the loose ball and now they're in. And thankfully, Correa lashes that high and wide. Free kick for them. Down the line. Pulled across. Absolutely no one reacted to that. They clip the free kick over the wall to the area where there was no defenders. The defender comes out with him, but there's 4 of their players in there, and none of our players even thought to get back to try and challenge her. Right. Wendes makes a clearance, it gets blocked, but Advaldo now against Caballero, who helps it on to Ponti, cuts in on his right foot. And that found Rosed. And then they go long from the goal kick. We actually win a header at the back. Ponti then looks at Advaldo. It's cut out. And this has been the problem we've had so far at our time in the club. We've given the ball away so often that it's led to goals. Luckily, that time Pereira comes out and claims the cross. And then he goes long. Caballero picks up the loose ball. Ponti then loses it. Caballero gets it back. Finds Advaldo making the run forward. Somehow scrambled itself into the back of the net. It looked like he scuffed it. But we'll take it. It's 1-1. Very much against the run of play. So Caballero turns. Advaldo makes the run from alongside him in centre midfield. It takes down his chest. Fires it. I don't know whether it got a nick off the defender. The keeper looked like he went down in instalments, but we're level. And then Advaldo with another free kick. Again goes for goal. This time finds the back of the net. It clipped the post. The keeper didn't even move that way. He goes round the wall. It clips that post. And the keeper at no point was even watching the ball. And there we go, half-time, 2-1. Very, very much against the run of the early play in that game. Somehow we've managed to score 2 quick goals there towards the end of the half. Advaldo with them both to get us in front. And now we just need to be a bit more solid than we've been at any point this season in the second half. Right, we sent the same team out to start the second half. A free kick for them. Another one where they've just dinked it. We managed to get across to cover that one though, but the cross is going to come in. No, they've got it on the edge of the box. Back to the halfway line. Machado now looks behind the left back. It's a lovely ball. Cross in. We've got a head on it. Britos gets his head on it as well. And it's lumped back towards the box again. We've got another head on it. And then Caballero, taking his time, finds Ponti, who turns and then gives it away. And it's just going to come straight back at us here. And they're in behind. There is a flag up. And I'm hoping he's offside, but I don't think it's going to be. Oh, it has been disallowed. Oh, he actually was well off. It's just the fact that the defenders dropped back in that makes it look like it was a bit closer. Right, a corner for them. We've managed to get a head on it. It's come back out though. They've gone backwards, but it's going to come back at us again. Cross. I mean, Venderson could have left that. There was no one getting on the end of it if he didn't. But Beltran gets back to win it back and then dwells on it. And then he's got it again. Please don't do the same thing again. And Pintos hammers it upfield to Perez. He flicks it on. And there was no one there. It's going to come back at us again. And now Dos Santos is in the box. And luckily Pereira can turn it over. We have been forced into a change. Britos, who seems very brittle, judging by the number of injuries he's had, has gone off in that halfback role. And Barbosa's come on. We managed to get that hit corner clear. But I think we might be holding on a bit in the second half. Right, a free kick for them. Lifted into the box. The header, thankfully, lands on the roof of the net. Pereira with a goal kick for us. Barbosa finds Beltran, who goes back to Pereira. Now to Marquez. Finds Ponti. Marquez. And we've given it away in a stupid position again to let them counter-attack here. And luckily, that was never going to be on target. Cabrera with the throw. Now it's come on at right back. And Barbosa finds Perez, who plays a lovely ball for Ponti, who's in behind. And we've got a 2-goal lead. We've gone to 3-1. That is so against the run of play. It's even more against the run of play than the equaliser in the first half. But Perez just comes onto his left foot and then just plays a ball in behind the fullback for Ponti's run. He takes it down well and then beats the keeper for 3-1. Right, we've made some more changes. Just get some fresh legs on to see out the last few minutes here. They've got a throw deep in our half. They've crossed it to the back post. The header comes off the bar, but it was offside. And we live to breathe again. Cabrera with a throw for us in our half. Vasquez gives it away in a stupid position. Right, and the cross is low, but hammered clear. Burgos finds Vasquez, who's now running forward with it. Still going is Vasquez into the box. What a goal that is. Juan Manuel Vasquez, who's come off the bench. He'd just given the ball away in a stupid position. Picks up the ball as it's cleared and then just runs and runs and runs. The runs from Perez and Ponti take away the defenders. Just drives to the edge of the box and then hits it. And I don't know whether he took the keeper by surprise, but that's 4-1. And that is very, very much against the run of play in this game. We could easily have been 3 or 4 goals down in this game. And yet, deep into injury time with 3 goals in front. And that's full time, 4-1. And I don't know how we've done that, because they had a load of chances and they should have been 3 or 4 goals clear of us probably before we even got back into the game in the first half. But we've picked them off on the counter-attack a couple of times there in that second half. The goals for Ponti and Vasquez. And hopefully that's a sign that we've turned things around. We're now in the middle of October. We've had a pretty big break after the Nacional game, and then we played one more game after that. We've got Peñarol coming up next, who are one of the traditionally bigger clubs in Uruguay, but they're having a similar closing league stage as us. I'm level on points. We've got a game in hand on them. The game we played after the Nacional game was away at Rampla Juniors. We did suffer a couple of bad injuries in that game to Ponti and Cabrera, but we managed to pick up the 1-0 victory with Damian Perez, which means we've played 11 games. We're in 10th on 15 points. We do have a game in hand, but that game in hand is against Danubio, who are second in the league, in the closing stage of the league at the moment. But hopefully those last 2 games have seen us turn around a bit of form. However, that did happen in the last episode where we'd run back-to-back games before we went into the last game of the episode and we got beaten by River Plate. Hopefully that's not the case in this game against Peñarol. We have picked up 5 victories in this closing stage, and hopefully we can put in a performance a bit like we did against Nacional and get a result from that game. We've been forced into a couple of changes from the team we saw against Nacional for this game against Peñarol. Buzaglo's coming in that defensive midfield role, with Britos dropping to the bench just because he's struggling fitness-wise. And as we said in that game against Nacional, he seems to be a bit brittle. And as we said, Ponti's picked up a knock in that last game against Rampla. So Mendoza has come in on the left wing. And so it's 4-3-3 against a 4-4-2 diamond. Hopefully we can take advantage of the lack of width. Pereira with a goal kick for us long. It's flicked on. They've got it though. Ferreira half-minute challenge, then it's cleared down the line. But it's just going to come back at us again. Oh, Caballero's... I thought he'd won it back. Now they've burst through the middle. And thankfully they've poked it wide of the post. We are not looking good on the ball so far again. I'm going to throw for them. And they're working it across to the left-hand side. Infield shot from distance. And a great flying save from Pereira to turn it behind for a corner. Now it's swinging deep. And we've headed it behind for a corner on the other side. Another deep one. It's gone over the top of everyone. And Wenderson down the line. And we're chasing it towards the halfway line. And we've managed to clear the danger this time. Right, they've got a free kick at the back. Right. It's far too easy for them to have got out there. We're not getting close to them at all, anywhere on the pitch here. And we've been forced to rely on another great save from Pereira. We haven't had a single shot in the opening half hour here. Another deep corner for them. Again, we get our head on it. They've kept it alive. And Pereira gathers up the loose ball. Right. We're approaching injury time. We've got to throw deep in their half. Cross towards the back post. Mendoza gets up, heads down. And very, very, very much against the run and play. Very similar to the Nacional game. Very against the run and play. We've managed to nick a lead just before half time. Advaldo back to the fullback, cross to the back post from Wenderson. And Mendoza gets up above his fullback to head home. And there we are, half time, 1-0 in front, despite having been battered in that first half. Right, we've sent the same team out to start the second half. A free kick for them at the back, gone short into midfield. They've played a ball over the top. Pereira comes out to get there. And then he goes long. Perez nods it down for Beltran. Back to Wenderson. Pintos looks long. It's flicked on by Advaldo. Perez is in. And we're 2-0 in front. And I don't quite understand how we've managed to do this. We gifted so many chances in the first half. And the first couple of highlights we've seen for us, we managed to produce goals. It's a lovely flick on by Advaldo. Perez gets in, gets it under control, and fires it under the keeper for 2-0. Right, a throw for them. Crossed deep to the back post. Pereira made a bit of a meal of that, but thankfully it wasn't on target from their forward. Right, we've made a couple of substitutions on the wing. We brought Burgos and Pelliaro on. Right, a throw for them in our half. Crossed again to the back post, a free header. There's a flag up, but as ever with these highlights, we've seen him running back to the halfway line with the ball, so we know it's getting given. So it's just a ball to the back post. The forward goes out towards Ferreira at the back post. Ferreira doesn't really get off the ground. And they've pulled a goal back. Right, we've made some changes to get some fresh legs on to try and see out these last few minutes, but they've got to throw deep in our half. Another cross into the box. This time they've scored at the near post. And based on the overall match stats, that's probably a fair reflection of the game, but we've just thrown away a 2-goal lead. And then from the kickoff, we've gone out to Pelliaro on the left, back to Fernandez, Ferreira onto Pelliaro, Ferreira, Barbosa finds Pelliaro in the box. Vasquez's shot's blocked, but he was offside. 6 minutes of injury time. And there we are, full time. Looking at the match stats, it's a fair reflection of the game. But to be 2-0 up in the 80th minute and to concede 2 goals in then 7 minutes is a bit of a kick in the teeth. And there we are, the end of another episode. The positive to take from it is it's 3 games without defeat. It could have been so much better. It could have been 3 wins in a row had it not been for conceding 2 goals in 7 minutes there towards the end of that game against Peñarol. Things aren't going to get much easier in the next episode. We do start the next episode with a game against Danubio, which is our game in hand on everyone. And we finish the season against Defensor Sporting, who should be doing better than they are doing in this league phase as we stand at the moment. So join us next time to see how we can end season 16 of this South American Glory Hunt save. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.